Hello. Hi, welcome, and thank you for being here today. I hope you're having a gorgeous day or night. We're going to get you some clarity and see what messages would be helpful, what the overall situation vibration is. This is a timeless reading. Whenever you find it, it's perfect. It's also a collective reading. So you'll feel, that twinkly message when it feels like it was meant for you. And if it doesn't feel like it's meant for you, it's confusing you, it's a message for somebody else, always follow and trust that beautiful, deep, divine, direct connection that you have to your higher self, to God, to Source, to the universe, because the answer is always in you. And try to make balanced decisions between logic and intuition. So your decisions are sound, they're based in love, and for the highest, greatest good of everybody. So we're all uplifted in love. Let's dive right on in and see what the foundational energy is. We're going to start with the animal tarot. Let's see what God, Source, Holy Spirit, Grace, Consciousness, our higher selves, angels, and energies of love have for the highest, greatest good of all. What is the foundational focus or main situation that's happening? Ooh, big situation happening. So something's gonna come in all of a sudden, create a lot of transformation into your life. It's like suddenly you break out of the cocoon. You're like, whoa, that's light. Whoa, I have wings. Whoa, what is happening? So just spread those wings and fly. There's something coming through with this 16 tower / life experience energy that's going to change everything. Usually this takes away something that was no longer there for your highest and greatest good, something that was part of an old cycle that maybe was wobbling for quite a long time, but this big divine push needed to happen to create the space so you can rebuild better, rebuild with different tools, rebuild yourself or the way you saw someone or something. It's rebuilding sometimes in a brand new environment, but this creates the space necessary or the life experience necessary so that the next time you do something, you do it different. It's usually pretty fast. It's usually pretty big. I usually feel like I hear 3 days, maybe within 3 days, maybe today, but it takes 3 days to adjust to something. There's all of these butterflies here. There's also a cuckoo. So maybe this is a situation where you feel like it might drive you a little cuckoo, a little cray. You're losing your marbles a little bit, but you can do it. You can handle it. It's going to be fine. Even if it feels like a little chaos, there's something about you handling this chaos with grace, with strength, being in your center. Also with that cuckoo, I just see the cuckoo, 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 like that clock. So that maybe there is something that was almost like an alarm, or maybe, when the water drips and it's so tiny, it's just a small little thing, like plop, 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 but that little thing is like really irritating until you get up and just fix the faucet. It's something like that. So it could even be something kind of little, not a big old situation, but something kind of small, but that irritation was kind of building up and it made something even bigger than it was. Maybe the straw that broke the camel's back kind of situation. But there's also something with that cuckoo clock where something's going to kind of come out, give you a little signal that now is the time. Now is where the changes really start to unfold or really start to happen, or where you have to embrace those changes. There's also something about bending, not breaking, because there's a nail here. So maybe you kind of hung something up, but eventually it kind of fell down, or you tried to hit something head on, but it sort of bended. But I'm kind of getting that you maybe have to be flexible, that you can bend, you can adapt, you're not going to break. But maybe it was about a breaking point. And yet, this cuckoo, I just want to keep doing that, cuckoo, is sitting on this pole, seeing something through a higher perspective. They're not, lost in the field of wheat here, but there's something about that golden field of wheat where it is a golden opportunity that may be, I'm getting kind of like a blessing in disguise. You might recognize how abundant something is coming in, but later. Important changes are coming into your life, and they will require you to take action. Don't hesitate. You know, if the thing crumbles down and you sit there and you're just staring at the rubble, but you never start to clean up the mess or rebuild in a different place. Staring at that rubble, staring at the mess, staring at that situation, but not doing anything doesn't change the situation. So there's something about you have the capacity, the capability, the strength, and the kahunas to actually be the changing factor in a situation. Don't hesitate to move in a new direction you know you are right for. So if you're standing there and you're like, every time this thing crumbles down, I put duct tape on it and it just crumbles down again. Where's the duct tape? But that's not kind of working. You have to maybe even recognize that maybe something wasn't built on a solid foundation. The duct tape couldn't hold those cracks together anymore. So sometimes you have to start fresh, start new, change, you know, your tools and build something the right way from the ground up, from the earth up, connecting to spiritual energy, spiritual guidance as you build, but putting actual effort into it because it's taking you to the star. After the tower is the star. It's new dreams, it's possibilities, it's even that something that was so far away, it felt like it was out of reach. You were out of touch. I just thought of that Out of Touch song by Hall & Oates. I'm getting like out of sight, out of mind. And yet I feel like something that was maybe out of sight, out of mind wasn't. Like that star always came back. That dream was always there. It just wasn't feeling too tangible because it was a little too far away to touch it. All you had to do was take some steps out of the rubble, take a couple steps towards that star, and it was closer than you thought. It wasn't as far away as you believed. I'm also getting with that star, it's just you had to see something through a new filter, kind of in a different way, see a solution in a different way. Maybe from the way high up elevated spiritual perspective, and then come back down to earth and, you know, really ground that energy to make it real. So let's get another one. I want to know what's going on with this tower. Tell us about the tower, please and thank you. What would be helpful to know about the tower? Oh, every day I feel like I try to remain neutral. It doesn't matter. So you got the Lovers. Interesting thing with the tower, though. When you have the tower and the Lovers, now you have butterflies all over the place. You have these flamingos making a heart together, mirroring each other. Maybe you and someone else went through a tower moment, and that brings you together. Maybe a tower moment makes you and a certain person get stronger, learn together, rebuild differently, see eye to eye, heart to heart. But this Lovers energy with the towers, I am getting two totally different situations. For some of you, it might be a breakup, a divorce, you know, a separation where you just weren't seeing eye to eye. There was way too much duct tape on a situation and something had to finally give. Someone had to finally give. A conversation finally had to come through. Honesty, you know, really getting on the same page, even if that was you and another person going on different direction or going on different paths. Because if the Lovers is upside down, it's where it's unrequited love. One person feels one way and the other doesn't quite feel the same way. So how is that an equal dynamic if one is always giving or one is always settling, or somebody is in an environment but they don't really want to be there, their heart's really not in it? Or, you know, if you and another person have grown apart and that cycle is done, it's like staying in a cycle that needs to be completed, maybe needs some closure, maybe just needs some adjustments or compromises to be different. But for most of you, I feel like if you had a separation, that separation was necessary because it gave you the space to rebuild different with a new person coming in. Because the Lovers is a decision that involves the heart. It's a heart-driven decision because you are involving the other person. and you're involving the truth of your own heart, but you're also involving that direct connection to God, because the traditional lovers always has that beautiful angel there that is guidance. You know, it's not, it's offering freedom, free will, free choice. So when it's the true lover's energy, there's that freedom to choose, because that's when you really are grooving with a certain person, when you know they just continue to choose you because they want to come home to you. They want to rebuild again with you if something goes awry. That even if the lovers changes, you know, directions or changes its vibration down the line, when the lovers is in its truth, you always still want the best for the person. So if you're with somebody and they don't want to be there, you still want them to follow their heart, not keep them there in chains and hold them and make them feel a certain way because that's your desire. Because now that's heading a little more towards the devil energy with those chains than the actual lovers with the divine angel. So it's acceptance as chapters unfold throughout one partnership or different partnerships. It's also where the lovers, you learn more about who you are with that mirrored reflection of not just your lover or, you know, your romantic partner, but all the people that you love are a mirror. But you're getting a reflection of how somebody feels about themselves. And you can only get a reflection. You can have a conversation to kind of see how the other person sees a situation, but you're never really going to know what it's like to be behind their eyes. Isn't there a song, Behind Blue Eyes? I can't think of who sings that. It's really pretty though. Maybe somebody has blue eyes, but there's something about this green butterfly being transformation because of situations you've gone through, relationships you've gone through, learning more about yourself each time. You know, what's good for you now at 72 might not be the same as 47, might not be the same as 38, might not be the same as 19, because we change. So you have somebody coming in your life that maybe is deciding to make a lot of changes because of you. Sometimes the lovers coming in after the tower is where you didn't have a relationship for years. And all of a sudden, ooh, tower, love is in the air. And all of a sudden there's a person there. You didn't really want a person there, or didn't really expect it to be this person or to come in at all. You kind of gave up hope. But all of a sudden, there they are. So now all of your choices on how you are building your life change, because part of your new dreams is suddenly involving somebody else. So that tower can be a beautiful thing for some of you. Maybe unexpected timing, an unexpected person, or maybe you are unexpectedly different around a certain person. What is the lovers? Time to true and long-lasting love finds its way into your life. Follow your heart with caring actions and choices. For some of you, this tower moment may have been somebody like appearing in your life a long time ago. Maybe that was a catalyst to a lot of changes that have already unfolded in your life. Maybe this Lovers card is coming through because it helped you, I'm getting gain new perspective because of perhaps how someone else had a totally different perspective because of their life experiences than you. Maybe you are a catalyst to one another. You are a mirror to one another. So that mirror could be totally opposite situations. It could also be a little more parallel lifetime, similar situations, but going in the same direction of growth and expansion. Together, perhaps apart for a little bit, perhaps for some of you back together. That was a lot. And whenever love comes through, there's a lot of different personal situations. So hopefully something there resonated for you. I feel like we're going to go here. Let's go to the mystery deck. What are a couple of mystery messages? These could just be extra messages or deeper insight. Less than you deserve. So maybe some of you had some life experiences in the past where you settled for breadcrumbs, or you feel like you had this beautiful, loving, full heart here, but maybe we're with somebody that didn't follow actions with words, or didn't really embrace how beautiful your love was, wasn't really all in. Maybe this is where you got to be in that life experience, gift yet weird cuckoo kind of energy, where it drew a new reflection towards you, towards maybe some shadow work you needed to really look at to see where you deserved more than you were getting. So I feel like this was empowering. This was maybe a really difficult lesson, but it helped you see that you deserve nothing but the best. You deserve somebody who is all in. You deserve somebody who's wholeheartedly, whole soulfully in love with you. You deserve to be somewhere where there's equal chemistry, even if there's vanilla moments. You deserve to be with someone who always chooses to see eye to eye, have open conversation, heart to heart, and have that loving energy towards you, where even if you got off path, you get back on the same page. And if you accepted less than, or maybe you are the person coming in somebody's life where they see that maybe the dynamic with you is so different, that how did they think love was ... or their experiences were only of this caliber before, of this dynamic, what life had shown them, or what they accepted. Maybe somebody always went for a specific type. Maybe somebody in the past had to learn a karmic cycle. So the types of people they connected to, or the types of partnerships they were always in, were kind of similar because they had yet to learn that big soul lesson. Maybe you're the one coming in and busting somebody out of that karmic cycle, and they're recognizing through a different lens, maybe because of example or the dynamic you have, or maybe just insight that you shared, that it doesn't have to be that way. There is something different. It can be better. It can be a wish come true. That wish come true, fairy tale romance can be reality. That was so much. Let's get another one. There's also a truck outside right now, and it's making that like back up sound. So maybe there's something about backing up, doing something different, or looking at the past in a different way. I just caught that with my boob. What is it? Oh, you got a foxy energy. It's interesting. I like that came out. Because the fox is usually a powerful omen of very good luck. I also feel like it's kind of like a cat, and it's kind of like a dog. It's its own little thing, and it's interesting. Yesterday when I was driving at night, I saw a little baby fox like run right across the road in front of my car. I always have them run in front of my car. So maybe there's something about growth, or having that energy of kind of fun playing, maybe if somebody was always trying to be sly and slick, if it's that other kind of foxy energy. And maybe that's something that you are moving away from, or seeing at, in a different viewpoint, through a different perspective. Maybe something's not going to get over on you like it could have in the past because you see it a mile away. But I'm getting, when I made that card, I made it as sassy energy. You're just kind of looking a little foxy lady, foxy man here. It also looks like there's something about this connection with this foxy energy where you're sitting in the field. There's two fields of abundance here. Just kind of hanging out with your fox. There's also something about you listening or being heard that's important, because I think of the fennec fox and their big ears. Also, maybe something about the nighttime. I just heard twilight, and I don't know why I heard that specifically. I just heard twilight, and there's your dim lights. So You, maybe the lights are dim. You have to really tap into the other senses, but I'm kind of getting that this might be sassy dim lights where you're going to kind of light the candle, look at the stars. I did see that star before. Your message here is hang out with happy. A lot of times that happy energy doesn't always mean everything has to be rainbows and butterflies and sexy fox, or is it foxes? It's a choice. If the lights are dim, how do you turn the inner light on? If there's a weird situation and a life experience, how do you see it as a blessing for growth? How do you look for a solution that get lost in the ruckus and the chaos and the drama? I just saw that at 2020. If you have anybody in your life that makes your heart sing and you're just happy being around in their energy, just thinking about them makes you happy, you know, laughing with them, playing around like kids, then you have to maybe make the choice to spend more time with that person or those people. And if there's not anyone in particular you really groove with, this is you getting in that happy vibration on your own, making loving choices for yourself, self-love, and being the, you know, I hear the creator, but being the director, being the one who creates that happy energy that goes after your joy, that purposely puts you in the situations and experiences that you feel good about, that you get excited even thinking about the thing that you planned on the weekend. And the more you put that happy energy into your life, I feel like for a lot of you, it is getting out of the daily grind and or switching something up in your life that was just kind of getting like dim, like I see that wah, wah, just kind of like boring energy. If something was boring in your life, you need to put a little monkey wrench, a little spice into your own life and start to do things even on your bucket list that you've always wanted to try but never got out there, because you deserve a life full of happiness. You deserve a life full of joy. You deserve a life full of love, full of amazing experiences, full of growth and expansion, where you look back and you're like, I am so grateful that I at least gave something a go and that I didn't think about that for 10 years and never try it. So let's continue. Let's go to, actually, let's do this because I feel like I want something where I can read. And I haven't used the Oracle of Visions in quite a while. Pardon Rose trying to hide her bone in the, the covers over there. I gave her a new bone and she'll be walking around the house the next 5 hours trying to hide it. What is an Oracle of Visions? Wow, that was quick. Peace, letting something go, not holding on to something so tight, tapping into spiritual energy, being really comfortable with the spiritual insights that you are receiving. Know that there's a peaceful outcome that's coming on in. Did I say something about being 39 before? I can't remember if I said 39 or 38, but this is the number 39. So maybe if you're at that kind of age, maybe after age 39, there's going to be a lot of changes. That's also to a 12, a little bit of a pause. Definitely where you are illuminated and see something in a different way you can't unsee, but that takes you back to the 3, which takes you back to creativity. So let's, oh, this is the wrong book. Do I even have the book? Oh my goodness. Hold on. I might have to pause to find, no, I have it here. All right, Oracle of Visions, number 39. Keep hearing light as a feather. We're like lifting you up. It's inner peace. And it's an instant in time. I feel like those are those moments I just kind of got, you know, insight about, the moments that you are just so blessed for. Oh, no, it's not. This is number 38. Maybe we need to read that too, since I did say something about 38. So maybe that happened for a reason. So here you have an instant in time. It strikes. I didn't see the cuckoo before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Enough, enough, dear. Watch thy pulse hath beat enough. Now sleep and rest. Would thou couldst make time to do so too? I'll wind thee up no more. Somebody wants me off the clock. Ben Johnson. So this is about getting lost in the moment, staring into the void, engrossed and transfixed at some specific point or action in the distance. That's like that star. In this state, we are oblivious to time and reality. So there's a young woman, there's something about a focal point of transformation, calming meditation, and all worries, concerns, and negativity fading. In this captured moment of escape, there is only stillness and peace. And now you have offering comfort, healing, and caring. And, oh, I love this. Is Sarah McLachlan. In the arms of an angel, fly away from here. You are pulled from the wreckage. Well, you do have the wreckage here. You're pulled from the wreckage of your silent reverie. You're in the arms of the angel. Maybe you find some comfort here. So if you had a broken wing or a broken spirit, this healing process begins a bond of caring and comfort. Let a kind word or a gentle touch offer assurance that you are there and the other is not alone. A pure white dove is held in a nurturing manner by a caring woman dressed in deep, vibrant red. So that's like the root chakra. That's, you know, that root energy that grounds you to earth. It's that survival energy. It's also very passionate, sometimes prideful. The red of her clothing and headdress brings to mind the color of the first chakra, the chakra associated with self-preservation. This is a card about caring. When you have time, the need to nurture your own soul with some quiet time or recreation, there is maybe somebody who needs your help. This card shows that by doing everything you can to be well-grounded, well, you do have the Tower, be well-grounded, you can be a nurturing spirit. So hold the object of your ministrations lightly in your hand, lest like a frightened bird, they fly beyond your power to heal. So some of you are healers, but this is also about you really diving deep and being a part of healing yourself. For some of you, because you have these experiences that have happened in your life, it's your energy that's changed. It's your choice to always vibrate in the energy of love and authenticity. It's your, I hear your inner nature, where just being around you is actually healing to others, is inspiring others. Also maybe gifting others insight and inner knowingness to know that they too can change, can start again, can have freedom, can release themselves from anything constraining. You can't force a healing process. It's natural. And it's also something that is always unfolding. We're never healed. It's all good. It doesn't work like that. You know, there's always going to be a new experience to come in that we are gaining soul growth from. It's a constant learning. It's never just a, there you go, the Band-Aid's off, the scar is healed, and now you're good. So allow yourself to always have that growth. And also allow, if somebody else is growing and healing, that is a natural rhythm and space of allowance that you are gifting. So let's go back to the tarot, but a different tarot. If I have one. Do I have another tarot? Oh, I do. Right in front of me. Right in front of my face. I didn't even see it. Okay, let's get some clarity on the Tower. Life experience. The Lovers. Hang out with happy peace and harmony, tick-tock, tick-tock, cuckoo, cuckoo, dim lights, fox, and no longer accepting breadcrumbs or less than you deserve, or inspiring somebody on how deserving they are, how beautiful and magnificent they are, and to trust that better is coming in, that different can be good. You have a good time here. This is being around people you vibe with. You definitely would be happy around. Maybe for some of you, the opening message here is just to kind of go out and have some fun. This is usually celebratory. It's a party. It's a gathering. It's mixing and mingling with others that may be really different from you, but you feel really good around. You feel inspired by. These are people that also want to see you succeed. These are people that even if they maybe don't even understand a certain partnership you're in, they want to see you in love. We'll take a look at it the other way around, because if these are people that have kind of weird vibes, even if they're laughing all the time and smiles on their faces, but their intentions are kind of jelly because they maybe desire something that you have that they don't. It could be people that kind of give bad advice. It could also be people that have only had like party kind of situations, you know, or certain experiences that involve love land, and they only can give advice from the partnerships that they know, from the love they've experienced and what they have seen in their surroundings. So if you are getting advice from someone and you know they haven't had the best, you know, go around as far as partnerships, or they're in partnerships but they're not really happy, then maybe that's not the person you get your advice from. I feel like the best advice would be from those that just want to see you happy, even if they don't necessarily see eye to eye with you. Because the people that see the truth in your heart will feel that energy. They'll feel that love. Let's see why the Three of Cups is coming in. I mean, that's definitely hanging out with happy. And it might not even be a group of people. It could just be one person that makes you happy. That one person that really sees the true you. That you don't have to put on, you know, a weird hat and a mask with all the time. You can be your truth, whether you're kind of down in the dumps one day or really like vibing and thriving another day. You got the two, you got two twos. So I feel like for most of you, maybe you're even leaving a certain group. Maybe that's one of those tower moments. All of a sudden you go and those friends or that group or that, you know, family dynamic that you saw one way before, maybe after an experience or after meeting a certain person, all of a sudden you look around and you have that epiphany moment like, wow, I don't really fit in here, or this doesn't really groove with how I'm seeing the future, or I have new information that spirit or a certain person has presented to me that all of a sudden that norm thing situation kind of doesn't vibe with me anymore. And maybe somebody's moving away from that group, but kind of being pulled towards decisions that take you to a new world of possibilities here. There has to be something that adjusts in your schedule. And this is where if you were juggling bowling balls in the past and something always felt so heavy, this is maybe, I heard that light as a feather, you making more choices towards the people, places, things, environments, and experiences in your everyday world where you feel lighter, you feel happier, you feel more joyful, like you're playing, rather than always like burning the candle at both ends or handling something that is too much, where like there's not enough of you to handle everything. Maybe some of you took on a lot of responsibilities. Maybe for some of you, this is somebody coming in your life that maybe has amazing friends, where maybe if you had to handle everything on the schedule by yourself, maybe the right people are coming in. They're like, I'll pick up your kids tomorrow. It's okay. Go to that meeting. I got you, you know, or, you know, just kind of being there because They love being in your life. These are people that got your back. And you don't always have to handle everything alone. If there's people around you and you always feel like, you know, they're climbing your back or constraining you or not really pitching in, then maybe you are making choices that head you towards a different terrain or a different partnership or a different world, where maybe even if it's unusual, even if it's kind of in your hands, but you're not really in that experience yet, you're making steps towards, you're making plans that inspire you to get out there. This is buying the plane ticket. This is having that urge in your soul that you got to do something, and then looking up the information and booking the ticket, or making those plans and having that conversation for you to go on that date in 2 days, or to start that business you always talked about. Sometimes I see that 2 of Rods, like a business partnership and or really passionate partnership somehow. But it looks like here there needs to be some adjustments, choices made differently. You know, something coming off the back burner, or something needing to be let go of, so that you have this freedom to go beyond the walls of the castle here, to jump into that water and see what it's like on that island you've been staring at for the last 3 years, to perhaps even go your own way and leave this rod here pinned to the side of the wall, just in case that person needs to catch on up to you. And they have that support and that passion and that enthusiasm to help them, you know, catch up. Because that's what I see with that stick. It's like somebody has that support. They're ready to go over the wall. They're ready to go into new territory, go on a new discovery. But they're leaving that rod back there for something. You know, it's either to go back to something that they, you know, put on the back burner, or something that got them excited, but they need to come back and attend it later, or it's for somebody else to grab onto and to like run on up, catch up to that experience, to that expansion towards victory. Being noticed by the right person or the right people where they want to see your success. Recognizing how even when it was a hard training session, or you maybe lost a couple of the ball games, or you went through some battles, that every time got you back on that horse a little bit stronger. Sometimes you have a winning streak and you come home in that victory parade every time, but how much more special is that parade when it's the Super Bowl, or that parade when you just lost 10 games and you really knew that one team you didn't want to play against because they were the real hard team, but that's the team you won against. That's the one that was more meaningful than all those losses. It's something like that. It doesn't matter how many losses there were before this win. It's recognizing that this energy of victory, this moment that you feel proud of, this moment that you are being noticed for, or many are noticing this one moment, or many have noticed how you have gone through many different cycles to get to here, that it's having gratitude towards everybody that helped you get there, whether that was that tough trainer or that opponent, or, you know, the coach, or the ones that helped you get on the horse. You know, the, I don't know, the ones like cheering you on, throwing you this party. Eventually, if this person is upside down and they are pompous and just up there on their high horse, they're going to start to feel weird and get a little saddle sore if they don't get off and let their horse take a little breakaroo. So there's something about a humbleness that needs to be surrounding this beautiful six of wands, victorious kind of energy. It's having humility. You know, that sometimes I hear you can't win them all, but sometimes you do get to win a lot. So because I accidentally grabbed that book, let's get one more. One more from the Archetypes, please and thank you. That would be helpful. What is one more overall message on the Three of Cups, the Lovers, the Tower, the Two of Rods, the Two of Pentacles? This could be off balance if it's upside down. And if this is upside down, it's holding that ball, that world right there, but never getting beyond the wall. having the ticket and not packing your suitcase, or getting to the airport thinking you're going to be late for the plane and not getting on standby and just adjusting it if things get kind of off. Ooh, what is this? The shadow. It's like a mirroring. I like that the shadow came through. That feels really dark and it feels really strong, and it feels like that is maybe what this healing energy is all about. So the shadow. I gotta try to find it. Hold on. Oh, no, wait, no. The bridge. These Roman numerals. wait, I got it. No. X, oh, it's 2 X's, not 3. Pardon me in my Roman numerals here. XXV. Oh my goodness. Do I have to pause you to find this? XXV. I. All right, I got it. Thank you for bearing with me as I learn my Roman numerals. I can't see this. All right, let's see. The shadow is the unspeakable, the unwelcome, the denied. Although every card in the archetype deck has shadow potential, this card asks us to delve into the qualities of the shadow itself. We often think that the shadow can be purified, illuminated, and made right through effort and achievement. You do have that. But it's interesting because you know how the shadow comes? You only see the shadow when there's a light shining that shadow. So, however, it is typically the case that our lofty pursuit of ascension and perfection is the very source of shadow material itself. By rejecting parts of ourselves and the world, we begin to separate from the whole. Rather than getting to know the qualities and the context of our shadow, we busy ourselves, avoid its presence, avoid the shadow, avoid that part that always triggers me, avoid the parts of me that you are, or I am, whoever it is not so proud of, and they don't even want to address it. Or somebody that's not vulnerable because they're scared that those shadow aspects won't be accepted. That's whatever I saw here. These are people that don't have expectations for you to be a certain way, for you to fit in a perfect little box, or always come to the party happy. These are people that love you, that if you had a shit day and you show up at the party, you're like, look, I don't really want to be here. I had a really weird day. It's been a weird situation. This is somebody who embraces whoever you are without judgment. Maybe it's self-judgment that's being released here. We busy ourselves and avoid its presence. This is basically denial. But when this card appears, it's because it's time to take inventory of those things you've been denying. When the mind responds with, no, anything but that would be the tower moment. That can't be what's happening. I'm just going to go look away. You know, stick your head in the sand. Pretend it doesn't exist. Don't see the elephant in the room. You don't see the elephant in the room. It's not there. Too much to handle. Then that elephant gets bigger. That situation gets more awkward. And the healing never occurs. That healing occurs with truth and self-awareness. You are touching the shadow. Find support for this deep inner work and move towards the shadow with patience and compassion. When light, it's revealing unconscious aspects of the self and world. When dark, it's denying unconscious aspects of the self and world. To go deeper, Owning Your Own Shadow by R. Johnson. I tried to lower my voice for you. Okay. And it's contemplate the following scientific observation. The closer an object, a person, place, or community is to the light, the longer the shadow it casts. Actually makes me think about that a little bit. That's true. The closer it is to the light, the bigger that shadow is. So it is possible you are in a situation and it is so vibrant and it's so light and beautiful and divine that maybe that divine light came in for a purpose to cast a big ass shadow on those big ass things that you or someone else was just wanting to ignore because it felt like too much, until you maybe pull back. And I feel like there's a pulling back, and now that that light has been felt, there's a switcheroo. Literally, I see a light switch where that inner light comes on. And it's almost like seeing that shadow and you're like, what? You know? It's like really facing something with some strength. Like, what? Shadow? Like, just thought of SHADOWBOXER. Oh, that's a really good song. I like that. I'm glad that came through. Even if it was just for this message. I just feel like whoever's dealing with a shadow self here, you're a badass. You're awesome. You're amazing, because this is something most people go through their life and ignore. It's really strong. I feel really proud of you. And if there's anyone that you have embraced through these healing moments and adjustment periods, you know, rises and fall downs, love that's been blossoming, and really big changes, then I feel like there's also somebody you're really proud of. And if you don't know what somebody else has gone through in their life experience, there will be moments where you get to have a conversation, whether that's a friend or a lover or a family member or an acquaintance or a coworker or a stranger, where it's like you get that moment, that gift of vulnerability, where you're going to be like, wow, you're amazing. I can't believe you went through that. Look at where you are now. I'm so glad I had that conversation. Or I'm so glad that I got to know you. Or I'm so blessed that you are in my life. In the shadow of the gods are the very gods themselves. Reflect this statement by James Hillman in A Blue Fire. What you despise about yourself, by answering, you move towards shadow. Even with this, when it was upside down, if people are shining shady light on somebody else's brightness, or putting, what did I see? Like somebody giving like bad advice, or only having the advice that they know. It's all a reflection of who they are. And sometimes people shine a reflection, but they don't have that self-awareness that they're even doing it. So, should we get you one from the universe? Yeah. Let's get one more message from the universe. What is the last message that would be helpful? Please and thank you. Oh, I just heard SHADOWBOXER again. Make me a shadow boxer, baby. I wanna be ready with what you do. And I've been swinging around at nothing. I don't know when you're gonna make your move. Shadowboxing. Maybe some of you do something in the gym like kickboxing. That's actually really fun. The journey wasn't the smoothest or the most pleasant lately, but hey, everything's coming together. Your patience, your strength, and your perseverance will soon be rewarded. The wait is almost over. Hold on. So if you've been in a long waiting period, that wait is almost over. And I feel like a lot of beautiful changes are coming in. And with this, I bid you adieu. I hope this reading was helpful. Something came through that resonated for you, and I very much look forward to seeing you very soon. Thank you for being here today. I love you so much.